Okay, now we are going through the questions that for the same question to discuss whether PED is important to firms or not, and now we are going to talk about why it may not be important. Okay, so the reason behind is because the first one is most of the firms are profit maximizers and they are not revenue maximizers. So what we have been discussing is how the firms could enlarge their revenue, right? But here, just remember, you set up a firms not to earn the most revenue because more revenue doesn't mean you're going to gain more profit. Some of the firms which have really a lot of revenues actually they lose a lot of money. For example, like um let me think. A firms called Meituan. Okay, so this firms is basically losing 110 billion RMB last year in 2018. So although they have a lot of revenues, but it doesn't mean that they are gaining a lot of money. So in this case, even if you know the PED, it is meaningless because you are only able to increase your revenue, but it may not able to help you to raise the profit. So remember, the firms should be charging at where MR equals to MC and then setting the quantity there. Okay, just a very quick diagram for this. So you have the demand curve, you have the MR curve, and you have the MC curve. So here basically you're drawing the monopoly diagram. So you set the quantity at where MC equals to MR. So it's this point. So you set the quantity here. And next you charge at where the consumer willing to pay. Okay, so the highest price they're willing to pay is equals to the demand curve. So you set the price here. Okay, so if you're a profit maximizer, you should do something like this instead of just simply rising or lowering the price in order to raise your revenue. So that's the first reason that it may not be important for their profit maximizer. And the second reason is because there is something called the information cost. Okay, so what is information cost? So if a firm want to know their exact PED value, it may cost them a lot of money. Okay, so if you're a very big firm, you may have a team to do so. But if you're a very small firm, basically it's worthless for you to find a PED. Maybe blind guess is even better. Okay, and that's the first thing. And the second thing is about the long run and short run. So as we've learned in the international trade about the Marshall-Lerner condition and the J-curve effect, we have noticed that in the short run the consumer are very inelastic, and in long run the customer are very elastic. The reason behind is because in the short run, the customer may have no chance to find for another substitutes, and in the long run, when they find that your price is too high, they will try to find the substitutes. So that makes the long run to become more elastic because when you raise your price, the customer will go away if they really cannot afford it. Okay, so in the short run they have basically no choice, so they have to continue to use your products. Okay, so that's why you will have the inelastic in the short run and elastic in the short run. So how could a firm even know when they try to raise the price, eventually it will be inelastic or elastic? No one will ever know unless you're selling the cigarettes. Everyone knows the cigarettes is inelastic, but what if pillow? Okay, if I'm just randomly name a product, for example like pillow, the television, can you exactly tell me the elasticity right now? So it's a bit hard. Okay, so that's the first reason. Okay, and the second reason is because different elasticity happens at different price level. As we have been seeing this this diagram. So you can see that when the price is low, the PED will be low as well. And if the price goes up, the PED will also rise. So if I'm going to rise my price when the demand is inelastic, so can you secure you're not facing an elastic demand after you have raised the price? I bet not. Okay, so that's the reason why sometimes information costs will make the PED not so important for firms.